Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Scale Podcast. Welcome to the place where we talk about everything and anything it takes for you to get to the next level of your business. Anything it takes to get to the next level of your business, be it employee management, customer relations, leadership, sales, anything it takes to get to the next level of your business. We are building here and we are building with you as well. Today's topic is a very, very lovely one. Today's topic is how to have drive. Recently, we've been talking a lot about the mindset it takes to have a great business, the mindset it takes to do great business. And one thing that is very, very important is drive. You need to have that drive. You need to have that intense, burning desire, that hunger for greatness. You need to be hungry for something. You need to have something that you are standing for. You need to have something that you are willing to fall for. And this is what we call drive. Now, having drive is very, very simple. It's not complicated at all. Having drive is basically taking everything seriously. It's nothing more than that. Having drive is taking everything seriously. Having drive is taking everything seriously. Now, why is this important? Before we even go deeper into that, why is it important to have drive? It's important that you have drive because having drive is what gives you that longing to be better. It's what makes you say that I'm going to learn, I'm going to keep improving, I'm going to do better than I am currently doing today. It's drive that makes you think that way. It's drive that makes you operate that way. Having drive is what makes you constantly improve your learning. Having drive is what makes you understand that you don't want to die with any regrets. You want to die without regrets. Having drive is what makes you want to be more efficient. It's basically what it takes to get to the next level, because the opposite of having drive is not having drive. And what is that? That's complacency. That's settling for where you currently are. It's basically settling for less, because having drive is wanting more. It's desiring more. It's wanting the next level. And we asked, how do you achieve this? It's taking everything seriously. It means observe problem points and the people around those problem points. Always work the best that you can at anything you are doing. Anything you are doing. It pays you in the long run. Always work the best that you can. Now, the reason why many people don't have as much drive as they would love to, the reason why many people don't have the amount of willpower, the drive required to carry out that task, is because they are not doing everything that they can to make their business blossom. And we're going to break it down. I said earlier, take everything seriously. Now, many think that when their big opportunity comes, they will be ready. Many think that they will have it in the bag. Many think that they will be prepared for big opportunities. But they fail at everyday things. They fail at the little things, the little things in front of them, the little insignificant things that they think don't matter. However, it matters because having drive is more about building a culture of winning than it is about anything else. Now, here's the principle. A person that is winning is excited and energized to keep on winning. It does not matter the size of the thing they are winning at. I'm going to repeat that because it's very important. A person that is winning is excited and energized to keep on winning. It does not matter the size of what they are winning at. And when it comes to building drive, having drive, this means that many people cheat themselves by not taking small things seriously. They unknowingly train themselves for a culture of failure because they allow the little things slide. They don't take them seriously. And when you fail at a little thing, even if you think it doesn't matter, what you are building in your life is a culture of failure. And a person who is failing is sad and sluggish and simply wants to give up. A person who is failing is not the kind of person that has drive. That's really it. Because when you win at many little things, even when you have a big failure, it doesn't seem so bad. A lot of people think that, oh, when people bounce back from massive failures, it's because they are just stronger. And yes, they have that emotional resilience. But that's not all it is. It's the fact that these guys win at everything. So one failure doesn't change their culture, because they are still winners, because they've cultivated winning around their lives. And this is something a lot of people do not get. Studied a lot of biographies, and one thing I find consistent amongst the great CEOs and the great businessmen is that they are always taking even the most annoying detail seriously, and people find them annoying for that. Now, of course, am I saying that be rude to people when you are trying to take note of these small details? No, that's not what I'm saying. But it is worthy of note that basically every one of those great entrepreneurs made it a point of attention to pay attention to every small detail about their business, to make sure that they were winning at everything. Now, one thing that people were always saying about these great men when they were alive is that, oh, you are too competitive, you are too this, you are so uptight, blah, blah, blah. The fact is that you have to take everything seriously. There is no in between. It's either you are building a culture of failure around yourself, or you are building a culture of winning around yourself. We can look at it with students in high school. They've built a culture of failure around themselves. Then when exams come by, they study and they pass. But the fact now is that their culture is a culture of failure. So after they pass the exam, they go back to their previous culture of inefficiency, their previous culture of lackluster. It is important that you know what kind of culture you are cultivating for yourself. It is important that you know what kind of culture you are cultivating for yourself. You don't want to be cultivating a culture where you are consistently failing, then occasionally winning. In fact, what you want to cultivate for yourself is a culture of consistently winning and occasionally failing. Because failure is a part of life. You cannot avoid it. Failure and winning, they are part of life. Nobody is a complete failure, because everybody is going to have some failing and winning in their lives. And nobody is a complete winner, because everybody is going to have winning and failing. It's something that you must come to understand, that failure is not a problem. It's a feature of life. It's a part of life. It's business. It's just what happens. There's no sweet sugar candy butter way of saying it. It's just fact. Now, what does this mean for you? This means that even the small, boring things of your business should be taken seriously, especially the things that seem insignificant. It turns out that they are always often not so insignificant. Let's look at Apple, for example. Initially, they were making ARM processors. However, today, that thing that was insignificant in 1999 is now what is powering their best computers. It's because they pay attention to everything. Do you know that if you go and check the first device that they designed back then, at the back of that device, there are so many details there that you would even be like, but nobody's ever going to see it now. Why did you go so far to make this thing so beautiful, even in the place that nobody would ever see? It's because they have a culture of winning. They have a culture of excellence. It's something that motivates you, that stirs you up. Now, still on the line of thought of taking everything seriously, you need to also believe that there is nothing you cannot figure out. Everything can be negotiated. Because sometimes the reason why business owners don't take certain things seriously is because they just believe that, okay, what can I even do about it? Now, so it just they be. And for those amongst us who don't understand that, it means that is just the way things are. And if things are properly examined, properly looked at, we start to see that everything can be innovated. Everything can be resolved, figured out. You can make things happen. And believing this is something that is of utmost importance for every businessman. You must believe with all of your heart that you can make things happen. You must trust that there is always a way out of any situation. Studying about some businessmen a few days ago, man had to get about $20 million in the space of a few months, and he had just finished struggling to get $8 million. Now he needed 20. How was he going to do it? That was enough reason to give up. However, he did not. He didn't give up. He didn't just say, oh, I'm done with this. I'm tired of this. I'm not interested anymore. He looked at everything. He took it seriously. You cannot take anything seriously that you've not first considered possible. If you don't think of it as possible for you to do well in something, you are not going to take it seriously. You are going to act in ways that sabotage your efforts. That's why one of the most important things that drive rest upon is called belief. You must have belief in yourself. You must believe that you can make things happen. Now, I know that to some of us, this may sound like motivational nonsense. It's not that. Trust me. It's not that at all. It's deeper than that. If you do not think you can make something happen, it becomes unnecessarily difficult for you to do. And once things get difficult, human beings have a tendency to reduce the amount of effort they put and take it with nonchalance. There are many philosophical works that have studied this to just show that in order to prove that you were not hot, you will treat something nonchalantly. For example, a guy loves a girl, the girl doesn't like him back, then he changes his behavior towards her, starts behaving like he never cared in the first place, so that he's not too hurt. This thing is called cognitive dissonance. It's something that has been extensively studied. You can check that up if you would love to. Now, why is it important that you believe? It is important that you believe because it is the person who believes that puts their mind to work. It is the person that believes that asks, how can this be done? Instead of just saying, it cannot be done. There's a very big gap of possibility between those two statements. A person with a closed mind would say, this is impossible, this cannot be done. But the person with a very open mind would simply say, how can this be done? Now, one thing you notice about the two of them is that they are facing the same situation. They both don't have the answer. However, for one person, it's a permanent situation of never having the answer because it cannot be done. While for the other person, the one with the open mind, it is a temporary situation of not having the answer. Because the moment you ask, how can this be done? Possibilities are formed. There are various lines of outcomes that could occur. And an open mind is perhaps one of the most important things that a businessman can have. Because business in itself is about making the impossible possible. That is what business is. Today we make people fly around the world. At some point in time, that was impossible. So business is basically finding ways to do things, finding new ways to do things. And if you don't think that a new way is possible or a better way is possible, then we stay in our old ways. We keep on riding donkeys forever because that is what is possible. Nobody's going to question. Nobody's going to say, could there be something else? That's basically it. Asking questions, observing, asking questions. Because when you start to think in possibilities and you start to see different visions and versions of what could be, you get excited. So basically, pictures of possibilities fan the flames of your drive. They give you courage to act. They give you courage to act. That's why you must understand that it is important to always see things as what they could be, not just for what they are. This will help you in training your employees. This will help you in relating with customers in a particular region, in a particular scope. Because instead of saying, my workers are no good, it becomes, how can I make my workers better? How can I make my employees better? How can I improve them? From the product isn't good to how can we sell it? How can we position it in the minds of our customers? How can we make our customers want this product? Why is this important overall? It's important because if you are going to get to the destination of moving from one level to another, you simply need to have the drive for it. A complacent man cannot get to the next level of his business. That's why you need to have drive. Now, am I saying don't be content? No. That's not what I'm saying. But the truth is that you can always achieve more when you have more. You can always achieve more when you have more. It's easier to help more people, to serve more people when you have more. When you are operating at a larger scale. So having drive and belief is fundamentally important to becoming so good that they cannot ignore you. And that's what it takes. Well, one of the things it takes to build a great, long-lasting business. Thank you all for joining tonight. I hope it was a great session for you as it was for me. Till next time, enjoy yourself.